I look like I played Minecraft. Oscar, just give me like 2 minutes about that. Oh, sorry. I had a level in Minecraft. I had to What's going on? Philly, how are we? Drunk on Broad Cozies. That's what we're doing right now. We got the cozies.
Go. Hey.
Thank you, John. Appreciate the cozies.
Yeah.
And the funny thing is, it begins with a K. I didn't know that until I Googled it. You had to Google it. Gentlemen,
neither did I.
How are we, guys? How are we?
Doing good.
Yeah, doing all right. Can't complain.
Oscar's back from his hiatus. He's finally back.
It's a sabbatical. I was in hiatus.
Sabbatical, schmatical. It's all the same thing.
Mm-hmm.
Nick is fresh off his Jason Kelce impersonation win. Don still has the biggest win for the Flyers this season, and
still
me, I just look like I'm from Delco playing Minecraft. So I'm just having a great day. Just having a great day.
You're doing good.
All fun. Oh, look, and Chris tunes in. What is going on, Chris? How are you today,
going on,
buddy? Woo, man, do we have a show today? Was I angry or what last night? Was anybody else angry? I don't know. Do we have a show? I mean, we have a show.
I saw some of your angry tweets, Rich.
Oh, man. That's what happens when you hang out with Pat Johnson. Shout out to Pat Johnson. You just instantly get angry.
Not the Eagles player, Pat Johnson.
Not the Eagles, Pat Johnson.
No.
But if he was,
Wait.
he would what? Chris
So,
goes,
whatever.
your Yankees got swept. That's a broom, Oscar. It's an emoji for a broom. If you didn't know that.
I didn't know that. I didn't know that
trash.
existed, actually.
How does it feel that your number one pitcher is only good using sticky substances? How does that make you feel?
I mean, like, I'm sorry that, he's the best. I'm sorry that you guys are trying to bring him down. Whatever. We'll regroup. You'll get
some foreign substance that you can rub on your balls, and
exactly.
you'll be all right.
Why are you so upset that we try to use sticky substances, bro? Like
sticky substances on your balls, Oscar. Sounds like Saturday.
It's a natural occurrence in life.
It's a natural occurrence. It just technically it does happen, and then that's how kids are made, kids. So thanks for tuning in, and we'll see you guys next time on Drunk on Broad. See you.
But how about the pitcher Glasnow from the Rays now blaming the MLB that because he couldn't use the sticky substance that now caused his injury that's going to put him out for the season.
Yeah, he's a pitcher in fantasy. I'm not happy about this.
Well, I'm not. Yeah. Come on, like you're really going to blame the use of he's not allowed to use sunscreen over. Come on, dude, just stop fucking cheating. Like you don't need to.
But you don't need sunscreen when you're out in the sun all day. Like
not on your hands.
Yes, you do.
Hands.
Dude, have you ever stood outside like this? I do. Sometimes.
Like sunscreen doesn't do anything sticky though. Sunscreen's like slimy, bro.
But that's how he gets more rotation.
He's probably just saying it's sunscreen. Basically, it's not really sunscreen.
It's probably not. It's probably lacquer. It's probably glue. It's probably wood glue.
I mean, and then
wood glue.
And then you had like Pete Alonso, I think, came out and said like he doesn't mind them using it because he doesn't want 98 coming up by his head because they can't control it. Which we've talked about on this show of the reason why pitchers are a dime a dozen because they just want velocity and they don't want control. But the funny thing is, now that I'm thinking of it, because we use zinc oxide for Ollie for his face, that shit is sticky. It's not the fact that it's sticky. It's like Nick, zinc oxide, diaper rash, baby shit. You put that in your hands. Like that stuff is so hard to get off. Yeah,
it's chalky and it's sticky. It is. It's like it's not slick, but it'll definitely it creates friction. Yeah, so it creates friction. Yeah. So I can see he's like, using sunscreen. He's not using the spray type. He's using zinc oxide.
He's not using copper tone that you get it right in. I get it.
Like Oscar, do you remember? You remember when the guys used to put it all over their nose?
Yeah.
That's what it is. That's what he was probably using.
Yeah. So what? Maybe he wants to put some on his nose and it goes over his hand. You don't know that. Like
it's just so odd. It's just like you're blaming sunscreen. Like you're blaming not using sunscreen because dude, it's inevitable. Like just stop.
Well, I saw another guy had one of the other banned substances literally on one finger, and he was holding a baseball up with one finger. I'm like, it's crazy. Like I don't remember what the substance is. I think it's the stuff it's on the reverse side of one of the medical adhesive bandages, but it's they rub that substance off on their hands. And then but he was literally holding a baseball up with his finger.
That's so crazy.
The medical he's strong, man. The medical tape too. It's like he was using the stuff that Hot Hands was using, the Little Giants. It got stuck to his chest.
Yes.
I'm talking about Rich. He was like,
oh, who? Hot Hands Hanen?
Yeah. He tried to catch a football, and then he lays on the ground and he's like, "You're the best player on our team."
10-game paid suspension. That's what it is for the fine. You get paid? No.
Yeah, you have to get
paid. 10 days paid.
That's a vacation. Oh,
it's such a joke.
That's awesome.
Sounds like a tenured teacher, man. That's what happened to them too.
Yeah.
Well, you got to come with teachers, bro.
That's just a fact.
Come on.
Law enforcement, same thing, man. Tenured. Once you're tenured, bro, you could literally murder somebody and keep your job.
Yeah, that's pretty much what happens.
Yeah.
Just don't. And here's another thing, guys: don't murder anybody.
Yeah, I mean,
we are about to get into some murder.
We are not about that life.
And it's the murder that happened last night. The murder of our homes. God. I was irate. I was upset. I called Joelle a pussy. Oh man, I have so many non-regrets after last night. I stick by everything I said. Oh man, I looked at it this morning. I'm like, do I regret saying that? I'm like, no, because at the time that's how he was playing. Like here's my whole beef before everybody else goes. So let's do the whole. All right, we're gonna try this thing out. Hey Nick, that's you. I'm going on. So here's my beef with last night. Right, it wasn't the fact that he shot 0 for 12 in the fourth. It was the fact that why are you on the ground constantly when you have a bad leg? Stay on your fucking feet and stop looking for fouls all the time. Like he was Trae Young pathetic last night with that. And that's what really got me. It wasn't the fact that it was like a bad shooting performance. You're going to have those. You hope Tobias and Ben step up. It's the fact that he was on the ground constantly. What is worse for your knees? Just going straight up and down or going straight up and down, rolling, falling, bending, pushing up, getting back to your feet, and then running? What are you doing? Like, that was my whole beef. Like, that's why I said what I said. I'm not saying it because he had a bad performance. Okay, it's an outlier. We talk about that all the time. There's those outlier games. He had his. But why are you rolling on the ground?
But Rich, in his outlier game, he had 17 points and 21 rebounds on a messed up knee. So like for me, like I'm looking more at the support group and saying, like, where are you guys? What are you guys doing? Because it wasn't like he was completely absent. He picked up the offensive rebounding end of the stick and created extra possessions. But I don't know, to me, there were possessions at the end of the game where Toby could get off. He was off towards the end of the game. I don't know. Like I'm not putting this whole thing on Embiid.
I'm not.
I was just
telling you what I was mad about.
No, listen, I get it.
We'll break it down, but that was just my opening. Is stop rolling on the fucking ground, bro. If your knee's that bad, get the fuck off the ground.
And for me, I've developed a whole new level of hate for Trae Young and his game, because his game is completely centered around getting fouls called to help him generate offense for his team. It's not that his fouls are called in the creation of an offensive move. This, and the prime example of that was that play where he jacked up this completely nonsense 3-point shot attempt under 3 minutes left in the game, where it was like he was searched for contact, threw up something and then was looking for a foul. And the fact that he got a T telling the ref, open up your eyes.
Yeah, twice in a row.
Yeah.
Twice. I have a whole new level of this is your game. This seeing it now for 4 games and being this is your game. This is what you do. Where Harden is a good scorer. Harden can generate offense, the step back. He's got a whole different level of offense where he can generate points for his team. Trae Young looks like he's looking for a foul on every game. And I don't know if you guys saw the clip of the drive that he had where Embiid got called for the foul, where he's kind of rolling on the ground, and then he kind of like peeks up for the ref and then puts his head back down, and like it's just it's bad. It's bad, and it's old, and like
it's nonsensical.
Yeah.
Nick, I'm bringing you onto the spotlight, brother.
Yeah, I mean, he's a foul seeker. That's how he plays the game. I mean, that's been his game. People have talked about it all season long, and you're seeing it now because it's in prime time. Now people are really realizing, like, man, this guy, he's really annoying, right? It's not like he's – like you watch all the other great point guards in the league. Like, they get their teammates involved, and then they attack, and they'll get fouls called from attacking. He does – like if a guy steps out on a screen, he will forcibly run into him and then chuck up a shot, like you said, Don. That's what he does. Right. And that's why I saw some comments on it was because, he goes like this. He's like, open your eyes. And then people were like, look at Trae biting the hand that feeds him. They keep him in the game.
Right.
And it's like they're biting, and then the refs are going to, come on, you're going to tell me you're going to show me up like that in 2 games in a row and I'm going to start giving you more calls? That doesn't even make any sense, right? That's the rule number 1 in baseball, Rich, right? You don't show up the umpire and expect to get more calls.
No.
So the game, as we'll say, as a dad, I will say that I'm not mad at the Sixers. I'm just very disappointed. Okay.
Yeah, and that's worse. And that's
you let us down, right? And I'm really disappointed in Tobias Harris because I put money on you for the over 21.5, Tobias. And you put 20? Disrespect.
Yeah, that's a rough one, Nick. So
I'm like 21.5, dude. He's gonna get that.
He missed that bunny right at the end of the game too.
So this is going to be.
That's why Vegas is always rich.
This is going to be fun because I can't wait to see what this guy has to say about last night's game because he actually watched it, or it was just in the background.
It was in the background. At one point, I saw it was 20 points up, right, at least. And then I looked, and they were like up by 2 only. And I'm like, "What the fuck happened?" How do you let that? How do you like? I mean, again, like I don't know basketball like that, especially like professional. But like, is that like a 4-goal lead? Isn't that like like being up?
Yeah, it's hard.
Or Oscar in football, it's like being up 3 touchdowns, man. It's like a Super Bowl against the Falcons and Patriots.
But like Mike's saying, it was a horrendous second. Like that third quarter, that third period, whatever, the third quarter, that was abysmal basketball, and it has to do with Furkan Korkmaz. Like get the Furk out of the game. Like he did not have it. Like he was not the answer last night. You brought him in for like I understood the start because you were looking to get similar production to Danny Green on the offensive side, but Danny Green's a leader. He's a veteran presence. You want that out of Danny Green. You're not getting that out of Korkmaz. You were literally getting a guy who's going to chuck, who's a liability when he has his hands on the ball. It just gets to the point where it's like, okay, well, who can you rotate in? Who could be the starter for you in place of Danny Green? And right now, I don't really know who that is. So that's kind of tough. But then you look at the other aspects of all the bitching, the crying, the refs. The game is always going to be called lopsided. But they need to do something about flops. One of the calls that didn't happen that pissed me off was Boban's flop underneath the basket, and Tobias turns around, has to look where Boban is.
You talking about Bogdanovich?
Bogdanovich. Yeah, sorry, Bogdanovich. He has to look to see where he is before he can put the ball up so he's not jumping and stepping on him and hurting himself. Then he misses the layup. And then, and then at the end of the game, let's talk about this now. That stupid fucking Shake Milton decides I'm just going to dribble with my head down, not notice the guy's 7 feet off of me, has no idea how much time's left until someone yells it at him, and then blindly passes it to Seth Curry, who jacks up a 3 that he just had no time to shoot.
Yeah, I watched that highlight a couple of times. I find myself every time going, as soon as he dribbles right to the middle of the court, I'm like, shoot the ball, please shoot the ball, because he had so much space. And the shot was there for him. I feel like Seth Curry was the second option on that play, and the first option was him was to drive to the middle and take that shot. And I look and I'm like, take that shot, like that's your shot. That's the reason why you're in the game. Shoot the ball. So angry.
Yeah, I mean, he did, what that shows me is he knew the situation, Rich. He just didn't want to take that shot.
Right.
Yeah,
he didn't want to take that shot.
Which tells you even more. Like,
yeah, if that's how you want to play at the end of the game, you're not going to be in the game. Next time we're in that situation, you're not on the court.
Give it to Thibault. Right. Or not Thibault. Give it to Matisse. Matisse would have no problem taking that shot.
Matisse and
Matisse. God damn it, Maxey. I'm sorry, Maxey.
Oh, yeah.
I was going to say,
yes, I mean, Maxey. Sorry.
I think he tried the Furkan thing. They want to space. They want to have similar floor spacing, Rich. I get it. But like you said, Furkan will give you nothing on defense.
Oh,
you know, it's like –
so wet paper towel.
I know that they want to keep Matisse on the second unit because then when Ben comes out, Matisse is there, so there's always somebody to guard Trey. Then why don't you either start Maxey and have another explosive guy off the ball, or you start George Hill? One of those two should start.
I think they're going to have to start Maxey. I think that's pretty much your only option right now because he has confidence to shoot the ball, and he's not one-dimensional. He's not. Korkmaz is a 3-point shooter. That is it. Like
and
that is
Ben. And I like after the game, Ben said he knows he needs to be more aggressive, but I don't like that you say that after every game instead of in the game just being more aggressive, man. Like I'm part of Ben Anon. I'm a Ben guy. I love Ben. I know Rich, you are too. Don is too. We love Ben. But in a situation like that, when you see that Joe is he just looked tired, man. When he looks tired and he's struggling to make shots that he normally makes, you know, because in the first half I'm watching, I text you guys, I said, yeah, this dude is so fucking good. Like he saw the double team earlier. I think it was in the second quarter.
Yeah. Right.
He double teamed. He looked at them both. He turned, dribbled, hezzied. Both of them went for the hezzy, and then he faded away and hit a 25-foot jumper in their face. And you're like, okay, this dude is 7'2", 7'3", should not be doing that.
I saw a side-by-side highlight with him and Kobe. It was legit like
he's a
like
freak.
Step for step, same move.
That's why, like you're talking about the 3-pointer, but you know he should have made that layup, and then the situation is different, right? And then Ben too. Ben had an easy putback. He missed the layup.
See, I don't agree with what Chip's saying right here that it would leave Ben useless. Ben is probably one of the most dynamic players in the court.
Ben can still handle the ball, but
Maxey and Hill can all not handle the ball too. They can all play out in space.
Run Maxey off the ball. Not? And Ben will get him an open shot.
Right, and Ben ends up in that dunker spot. Coming off the wing,
they'll run the high pick and roll anyway, so they'll be open. Like Ben can have the ball. Ben also can get in the post and do whatever he wants, but that's if Ben decides he wants to turn it on and be that guy of going into the post. And like if Ben in the post is a mismatch for anybody on that team.
Yeah,
and I think for me, like I look at this and say, what is the priority going into Game 5?
It wasn't letting me drag it.
And listen, in Game 5, I think you suffocate them with defense from the jump. I think that's the way that you jump on the Hawks in Game 5, and you just suffocate them from start to finish with defense. You turn the defense into offense. You turn those steals. Listen, down the stretch where they had that spell where they weren't scoring, the Hawks weren't scoring either.
No,
there was like a 5-minute stretch where no one was scoring. So, you know, the defense for me is there. They just have to start to capitalize on those possessions where they're creating turnovers and turn those turnovers into instant offense. I think you've got to break out and try to get more fast break points. I know in the playoffs, fast breaks are at a premium, but I think the more that you can get out in transition off those turnovers, that's going to be what's going to propel this team into being able to take that 13-point lead and make it a 23-point lead and really put some distance between you and the Hawks. And really by the middle of the third quarter, their goal should be to put this game like without question.
Agreed. Go ahead, Nick.
I mean, that's what it looked like was going to happen watching yesterday's game, right? The first half, they were just – it wasn't that they were doing everything right. It's just that they were playing the way that they should have played. And what happened is they just took their foot off the gas in the second half. It's like Oscar said, like, shouldn't they won that game? It's when you let a decent team or a team that's not as good as you hang around, what happens?
Right.
They didn't put them away when they should have put them away. Embiid looked a little tired. You had to play him more than you wanted to play him in that game. the end of the first half, I'm watching it like I think it was like 63-48 at one point. I'm like, this is perfect. Or I think it was 62 right at the half. I'm like, this is perfect. Embiid might only have to play 5-6 minutes the second half. That'll be great for his knee. Come back to Philly. He can score 40 and just put it away. But now it's like, okay, now you need to play him more. What is it? Not necessarily what does that do for him this series, but what does that do for him next series? Because even though he said that he's going to play through it, we know that he's 7'2", 280 pounds. It's a lot on the knee, right? So, and I don't like him saying – he says it's not an excuse, but then he always brings it up in the press conference. Yeah, he's like, it's not an excuse when I play through it, but my knee started to hurt, but it's not an excuse. Then don't even say it hurt. Don't bring it up.
Or don't. Or
what
don't
would Kobe or Jordan say? Would they say that their knee hurt and they're just going to ice it? They would just say, "I got to be better."
But he also pushed the trainer away, who was trying to give him an ice pack, and he said, "I'm fine." So if your knee's starting to bother you, instead of doing the stupid little stretching your knee out thing that doesn't work. Put the fucking cold on there.
But I don't like. I understand that because I don't like the ice in the middle of a. Because it tightens up your muscles, and it's like I get that, but
couldn't do any worse to him last night, bud. Couldn't do any worse to him last night.
I think he just got tired yesterday. He just looked gassed. He had no lift.
He looked tired from the jump. He looked like he was up all night.
So that's more so not necessarily. What did he do? He looked like the Joel Embiid in the last 2 years, where he just looks out of shape. I don't know what it was yesterday.
He also had his worst. I mean, he had his worst stretch. I mean, when was the last time that we saw him go 0 for 12 in what was it?
Never done that before.
So the statistic that I saw was that he's the only player with 25 possessions to shoot 0 for 12 since Jordan did it in 97.
Oh, Jesus.
So, to have that stretch where, so think about this. The 2 games that they lost by a combined 7 points.
Yeah.
You have where in game 1, where they legit play their worst quarter of basketball. And then in game 4, your best player has his worst stretch, arguably, in recent history. And you were still within earshot. You were still within – in this game, you were within 1 possession, and in the other game, you were within 2 possessions.
Yeah.
That, to me, just screams we know that this team is a better team.
Yeah.
They just have to put it all together on the court at the same time. And Clint Capella, oh my God.
He's softer than baby shit.
Some of the stuff that I heard him say in the post-game stuff was when he's talking trash about Embiid and talking about whenever you wear him out, he can be it's tougher for him and fatigue comes into play and yada, yada, yada.
I agree.
Do you know that when the 2 of them are on the floor, he's a minus 45.
Yeah, he's not good. Clint Capella is
garbage.
He's a rebound machine, but he was also a 3-point center for Houston in that offense. And now he's just he's a pick and roll ollie. Or he's not even a pick and roll. He's an alley-oop guy. That offense that they run where it's Trae Young runs here and Clint Capella trails. That's his main. That's his generated offense. But even when Embiid puts a hand in his face, he doesn't go up strong. It's Clint Capella. I don't take that guy seriously. He's never going to be a top 15 center in the league, a legit center. He's going to be a 3-point guy. But that's it. Adam says they're going to come out tomorrow and dominate. I agree. I mean, I don't see them losing another game. Oscar, I want to know what you think. That's all I care about. I want to know what you think is going to happen last night.
Last night? You mean tomorrow night?
Tomorrow night. Shut the fuck up, Oscar.
Dude, tomorrow night, you're embarrassing yourself right now.
Embarrassing. You want to talk embarrassing? I'm just kidding. Go ahead.
Seriously, what is embarrassing? No. No, dude. I still think Sixers in 6. I still think they're overall a better team, no matter what. They showed it for one half yesterday. They just got to figure out a way to spread that out, I guess. I don't know.
Not honestly, you kind of hit it dead on the head. So they just need to come out and dominate. That's it. They need to come out and stop fucking around. They need to come out with enthusiasm off the jump. They looked flat coming out last night. They need their scorers to score. Ben's got to step up. Toby can't disappear in the fourth quarter. You can't be dominating the first half and then in the third quarter look puzzled and then in the fourth not want the ball. That was insane. I've never seen a player dominate the first half and then not want to touch the ball in the fourth quarter. I have no idea what happened there, but I'm just going to leave it at everybody needs to play better. We need to clean it up. Shake, thank you for that one game that you gave us. But after last night, that bullshit is not going to fly. You are not going to do that on the final shot. Like you are not big enough for that situation. The situation is bigger than you.
I think it's also up to Doc to make sure that they make the starting five a priority. Yeah. I think you need to, like, he relies on his bench so much.
Too much. And they're not good.
And he gives the bench too much credit. I feel like you've got to have your starters play, minus Korkmaz, because Korkmaz is now whoever goes into slots into that spot. But your main guys, Ben, Toby, and Joe, those guys got to play 38, 42 minutes.
Agreed.
Yeah, we're not the same bench play 46 minutes every night. There's no excuse. You know what I mean? And the thing is, Rich, it's just like you said, like those guys disappeared in the fourth quarter. Like we always talk, like we talk basketball, just shooting the shit. It's like when you're not hitting a shot and you know the game and you guys need a bucket, just attack the rim, dude. Like Ben or Toby, you guys can get to the rim whenever you want. Go get to the rim, especially Tobias. Go to the rim, and I know you'll make your free throws. Just see the ball go through the hoop. Sometimes that's all you need. You just need to see it go through the rim, and then you're like, all right, I'm good. Now, and then people see you attacking, and then what happens? And everybody's like, yeah, fuck it. He's taking it to the rim. I'm going to take it to the rack. Or he's doing his part. Let me step up and do my part. It's like everybody just they rely on Joe so much sometimes that they like, well, when Joe's on the court, he's on the court.
They forget how to play ball sometimes. Like they forget how to play.
That's on Doc, though.
I know. When Joe's not doing well, it seems like they forget. And yes, it is on Doc. But like Don said, make your starting five the priority. Danny Green's not coming back for a while. We might not have him at the finals if we get there. I'm not saying that we won't because I still have a firm belief that we will. But you need to figure out this rotation and light a spark under these guys' asses and figure out what it is. If the rookie has to start game 5, the rookie starts game 5. Right. Why? Because that kid brings a level of athleticism and energy that is unmatched by anybody on that court and anybody you have on that bench. So that is what you have to do. But as of right now, we all have Sixers and 6. I'll take that, but we got to transition into our next one. But Oscar, before we do that, you have to cue up the video, cuzzo. We need a little said guy in our lives.
Oh, we do.
How you feeling today? You're stoked, Steve. Hey, listen to this guy. Tell me how you're feeling here. You're screaming. I am stoked, baby. You're screaming like it's still the game going on. We're talking about the fightings here. The fightings. Said, Mike. Said, Mike.
It's just the best, and I love that Barstool Philly just constantly does it. The only thing I type under it is that's my uncle.
Yeah,
so it gets me hyped all the time.
For people that do not know, that literally and legitimately is Rich Conroy's Uncle Jack. He is nuts.
Jack Vardas
is like that in real life too. It's not just the video.
No,
he is like that, probably worse. So just keep in mind when you guys see that video, that really is Rich's family.
That is my family.
He probably doesn't even know that video goes viral all the time.
Oh no, he doesn't. I don't think it's even allowed to be played in his house. But the Phillies being clutch. Yeah. 3 games against the Yankees that they walked it off.
It was 2
games. Oh, and then it was the game. And then it was the game before, right?
Yeah.
And Gene Segura, huh?
Yeah.
But let's talk about something before we talk about how clutch they are. Let's talk about a Phillies player right now who is not so clutch. Mr. over 30, Rhys Hoskins. How do you go 0 for 30? How do you go 0 for 30? I don't even want to comment on this. Somebody else take over. Great.
I haven't seen a string that bad since I was playing college ball. I went through a stretch in a sophomore year where you just couldn't touch anything. I couldn't touch anything. And I feel like he's in that spot right now. He can't see anything. He's not hitting the ball. He's not putting the ball, like he just can't put it all together. And I feel like he needs some time away.
he needs some glasses. That boy needs some glasses.
He needs some time.
Nick, what do you got on that?
You know what they call that? What was that? Summer's catch? He needs a slump buster.
Yeah, slump buster.
He needs to just go. Yeah, he needs those glasses too, Don. No. Listen, man, when you're down that bad, man, like the first pitch, you're at first at bat, lay down a bunt, dude. You got to do something. Right, got to try and just do something for your confidence. Say, oh, the bat can make contact with the ball; it's not broken.
Right.
I think Girardi should also. I know he doesn't want to ruin his confidence, all that crap. I mean, he can't. He probably doesn't have any confidence right now. Let him sit for a couple games. What's the options? Do we have anything better? Probably not, but I'm sure they're not 0 for 30 right now. So, and he's really hot and cold. Like, this is crazy. This year.
It is so tough to go 0 for 30.
It's hard.
It's so tough. And it just makes me laugh because it's like the team is still in second place. The team is only a few games out of first. And it's funny that we poo-poo them when other people I know are like, oh, well, we have to give the Phillies some credit. You know, they're doing what it's like. They stink. It's just the NL East is so bad that it just gives them hope. They're not a good team. Let's talk about your boy, Nick. I'll let you take the floor. You can just Wheeler, dude. Wheeler.
I mean, he's been everything that we hoped he would be when they signed him, right? You know, when they first signed him, we talked about it originally, Rich. Like, we were kind of concerned because it was a lot of money to a guy that's had, you know, some nagging injuries over the years. I'm sure the Phillies, they must have felt confident in, you know, the medical records and said, you know, we believe that, you know, a change of scenery is going to be good for you. He's been everything that plus more. He's kind of a bargain right now when you look at the way he's throwing, right?
Yeah.
So, you know, I'll take it. I think that that's good for Nola too, because Nola, he doesn't have all the pressure on him now where it's like it's either him or we have no shot, right? Now there's somebody, he knows that it's going to also put a little bit of competitive edge on him too. Like, he wants to be better because he wants to try and compete with Zach and see it's still my team. I'm still the ace. We know right now it's probably Zach Wheeler's team, but you know, there's nothing. It feels like everything he's doing when you watch him pitch, it's like I'm like, dude, this dude, guys like these don't usually pitch for the Phillies, right? Guys that throw 98 plus, hit the spots. I'm used to watching Garrett Cole do that. I'm used to watching Jacob deGrom do that. I'm used to watching Shane Bieber do that. And then we got a guy that's doing that. And I'm just like, I'm seeing the highlights. Like, I'm seeing him on the national media too. Like, normally that doesn't happen. I'm like, okay, this guy is legit. I like my chances when he's on the mound. You know, you're confident they're going to win. The issue is we got guys going 0 for 30.
Yeah.
So in the lineup. So it is what it is. Yesterday was pretty bad loss from them. But
who is pitching tonight for the Phillies? It would be Wheeler, wouldn't it? Nola pitched last night or 2 nights ago?
No, Nola was 2 nights ago.
So I'm saying they're off yesterday.
Tonight is going to be
Wheeler.
Eflin.
Oh, Zachy F.
Eflin against Urias. So that's going to be a good pitching matchup.
Yeah. I like Urias. There's a big-ass plane flying over my head. That's dope. That's what's up. Forgot I live next to the airport. All right, fuck it. Anybody else have anything to say about the Phillies? I have nothing. I would just rather just talk to you guys.
Gene Segura is our best player right now. It's crazy.
Well, yeah, no shit. No shit. But let's talk about, I guess, Nick Mullens. What does that mean for the Eagles? Let's just talk about that. Let's just bring us all into the fold. I like this. I don't the spotlighting thing. Nick, you could get some good content. Instagram coming soon, guys. Instagram coming soon.
I got some stuff in the works.
This is some fun stuff. So Nick Mullens, what does that mean to you guys? Anything?
Nothing.
I mean, we have to see him on the field. We're doomed. Anyway,
right.
So, you know what I mean?
Just like Nick said, if we're at the point now where Nick Mullens comes into the conversation relevant to any pre or post or Eagles game at all this season, we know that game and that season is completely in the dumper.
You have a couple really good first round picks though.
Oscar fucking yawning over here. First night back. He's sitting there yawning. God damn you. Worst producer ever, bro.
Whoa.
Worst.
I mean, yeah.
as he sips his beer. What
Oscar
are you drinking?
I'm surprised Oscar wants to be on the computer when he gets done looking at resumes all day long.
For real. I'm actually drinking Victoria.
Ooh, good beer.
Good beer.
So how do we feel going forward with stuff? Like, what do we want to talk about? Don, what is your itinerary have? Because I know you have a bunch of shit written out, more than what I had. So I just touched on all my stuff.
I had a couple of things, like just a couple of things with the Phillies.
Let's go.
Okay, so who represents the Phillies in the All-Star game in Colorado?
No one. Zach Wheeler.
You have to send someone, Rich.
Wheeler, obviously.
Zach Wheeler.
Right.
And honestly, it might be Segura, because I was looking at the stats, man, and like even the first baseman, like the NL first baseman, I think right now Max Muncy's leading. And you look at their stats, you're like, Freddie Freeman's not having a good year so far.
But it's fan votes, so it doesn't matter.
I know, but like
Max Muncy leads in fan votes for second.
I looked at who was in first place on both AL and NL, and the fans did a pretty good job, Rich, like voting people at stats.
Vladdy and Tatis.
It was Vladdy, Tatis, like Salvador Perez having the best year for catcher. I think the starting outfield for the American League was Trout. I'm trying to remember.
Buxton and Judge.
I don't know if it's Buxton still. It was
yesterday. I saw it was Buxton. No, it's not going to be JT Realmuto, Chris. I'm sorry, but this wasn't last year. This isn't last year. It's not going to be.
Typically, you'd think it would be, but you
think it would be, but it's not. Because that dude from Texas is having a good year. I know they're in the AL. But
in the NL, Posey right now is having a better year.
And Posey is killing it right now.
Posey's having a great year with the Giants.
Yeah, and then Crawford's having a great year too.
Yeah, and you know what? The fans, like Rich, I'm looking at right now, the NL starters, they got them right. Basically, the outfield's Acuna, Castellanos, and Winker, and those dudes on the Reds are just mashing everything
right now. And then I just picked up Aguina. He just came back from the 60-day DL.
The guy that bats like with his leg all the way out.
Yeah, I just picked him. Yeah. I just picked him up. He had a home run last night. His first game back. So that made me happy. Yeah, Trout.
That roster with home runs, man.
Well, Trout is he's going to be an all-star, but he's not going to play, obviously. But he's without a doubt the starting center fielder when he is healthy. Right. But yeah, I mean, I would have to go. If you guys think it's Segura, do you guys really think Segura is going to be the one that represents? Because I would think you have to send Wheeler, right?
I mean. For me, I look at Wheeler, and Wheeler's got to be the guy that you send. If you can only send one, you're going to send Wheeler. It wouldn't surprise me if Segura somehow found his way onto the roster. If there are guys that are injured, if there are guys that are bowing out, but it's either one of those two. I think those are the two that are kind of setting themselves apart from the rest of the Phillies on the roster as far as being eligible for being considered for an all-star spot. Yeah.
No, I agree with that. I think if we send Segura, he's going to fuck around and get traded right after the game.
Good.
Because that's what happens. Well, yeah, I mean,
that guy's a walking bus ticket at this point. He
really is.
Yeah, get something back of value. Try and rebuild the farm system that has us four basically in the minors right now.
If that ever happens. Anything else? What's your next thing, Don?
All right,
I like this. This is fun. I like this.
So Luke Williams, the guy who hits the
walk-off.
The walk-off, right? So in the same week that he hits the walk-off, and he's like the number one fan favorite, right, killing it. As the Phillies leave for their West Coast swing, they're all wearing basketball jerseys on their way out, right? What fucking jersey does he wear?
Luke Williams.
He wears a fucking Durant jersey.
Oh, hate him.
Nets jersey. And I was like,
hate him.
Dude,
I hope he gets sent down to single A.
You had the entire city on your side.
Now I know why nobody is talking about him. It makes sense. It makes perfect sense.
And here's the other thing is that he's a Cali kid. So it's like he's a kid from California wearing a Nets jersey of a guy that plays in Brooklyn. Like,
if you're gonna wear a Nets jersey, it better be a Kerry Kittles jersey. Okay.
Keith Van Horn. are you? How dare you?
Yeah. I mean, we talked about before. Oscar is from New York. He's got family still in New York. People in New York don't even like the Nets.
Right.
They don't care. It's either the Knicks or you don't like anybody.
You'd rather suffer with the Knicks and never go for
They root for St. John's before they root for the Nets.
Oscar, did you talk about the dude who died in soccer and they brought back? Did we talk about
Yeah, talk about that, Oscar.
Yeah, talk about that.
Yeah. Well, like the thing is, like, what is there to be talked about? Nobody knows what happened to him.
They said it was just a heart attack, right?
Like they say it was like essentially
so crazy.
There's like he basically said, he's doing well, but he kind of wants answers too. Like he feels good. Like he's like, I could probably play, but it's just like
probably felt good during the game too, and then all of a sudden it just hit him.
Yeah, and it's just like, what is that? There's definitely a lot of rumors, of course, going around, like what he drank of, what he like, just the dumbest things ever. Just like nobody knows what happened.
That's insane.
Like it's like imagining like at that, like I guess level. It's like imagining like Derrick Rose just collapsing out of nowhere during a playoff game. Like that's like the same like.
Well, it wouldn't happen like this week because they were sent home. So it would have pick somebody else, Oscar. Like figure it the fuck out, dude.
James Harden.
Yeah, James Harden. Oh, we just came back. Oh, great, Oscar. Cool. Way to not know anything. I'm just messing with you. I'm so happy to have you back.
So, Oscar, what's the tournament that's going on now?
So there's two right now. One of them is the Euros, which is the best European countries going at it. Group is.
Which one do you think is the best?
What do you mean? Which one? Who I think is going to win?
Which country do you think is the best?
Right now, France is definitely. I mean,
what's wrong with Germany?
Just see how they played against Germany.
What's wrong with the UK? Why are you so partial to France? Huh? You hate America? I'm sorry. Just
that's
so happy you're back.
Though, because like I can see somebody being really upset. It's like, why isn't the USA in this contest? And it's just like
it's the question. It's the Euros. That's why.
The question. Honestly.
We would get mopped anyway.
We'd have to send our women's team because they're way better than the men's, and they
would get mopped. They would get mopped by the German 12-year-olds.
Oh, I know.
Yeah.
Oh man, our men's team is so trash. Are they? They're not in the Olympics, right? They're not in this. They don't do Summer Olympics soccer.
So with the U.S. men's team, though, they're actually in the up and coming. They have a lot of good young kids, and they beat Mexico.
A lot of 8-year-olds playing on that junior team.
It was like,
looking to be good in 12 years.
Like, no, they're good now. I mean, like you got Christian Pulisic winning the Champions League and then winning, the Nations League the very same week.
All right.
You have like a bunch of like young kids that don't play in the MLS, and that's the key. They don't play in the United States. They play in Barcelona, Juventus. They play everywhere but here, and they're doing well now. Honestly, I wouldn't be shocked. Yeah, sure, they're not the Olympics, but that shouldn't be their priority. You're building your youth academy with that.
Okay,
they're winning. They're winning now.
So, Oscar, I got a question for you. So, the youth academies, what age group does that start?
It can start as people you could be signed at the age of 6, like Messi, or like the age of 9, like Rooney. They literally, these scouts just know when there's talent. There's a certain mentality that they're looking for when you're at that age, and you don't have like the greatest technical ability, but they could definitely see some type of ability that got them, willing to say, "Hey, I'm gonna pay for your life from here on now."
So when they do that, is that so when they're there, that's school at some point and then soccer the rest of the time?
It's like going to school here. You do your
like a private school.
Yeah, you go to 8 a.m. to 3 p.m., whatever it is, maybe even shorter than that, and then you train after it. It's very, very similar.
So when I saw stuff like that, I saw a little bit of that this week, and I'm thinking like, what would happen if they did that here in the U.S.? Like if every professional sports team had some kind of player academy. So every MLB team has a baseball academy. Every NBA team has a basketball academy.
That would be nuts. That would actually make the sport a little more interesting. Like imagine like a 14-year-old going, "Oh yeah, I'm in the Yankees baseball academy. Oh, I'm in the Phillies baseball academy."
Right.
Like that would be fucking cool to see. Like that would be awesome.
I thought like to me, you're like the European soccer situation. They've got that whole side of it figured out where like They identify these kids young. They're able to then hone and craft that talent to then create the best possible product moving forward. Yeah. I thought like, well, what the hell are we doing here? And then I was like, oh, wait, the NCAA.
Yes.
It becomes eligibility. It becomes you're paying for it. It's the system, right? It's that NCAA system that says you're the second that anyone pays for anything, you forfeit all of your eligibility. Now, if I'm superstar, Joe Schmo athlete,
you don't go to college. Then. You just go play overseas.
Yeah, you go play.
Which is what's happening. You've got you see guys that are at the top of their recruiting classes for the NBA that are forfeiting their eligibility, and they're going straight to the G League, and they're going to get paid $500,000.
Yeah, that was the one kid, right? He just signed that deal. He was like the top recruit. He's going straight to the G League. They're paying him $500,000 salary.
Agreed. And let's be real. These kids aren't going to school to get an education. So please, people, stop giving me the whole, well, they're getting a free education. They're not, because they're not actually sitting in class.
They do like one semester, if that.
Bro, they do one semester to get a 2.0, and then they don't show up to classes. And then they hit you next year for eligibility. They don't hit you this year for eligibility.
Well, the NCAA doesn't
care. They hit you for
because
next year. They don't give a shit.
They want the team to be good because it's marketability, it's profits, selling tickets, merchandise. So they really don't care. It's all crap.
If you ever wanted to know anything about NCAA eligibility and how that stuff plays out, do yourself a favor and go watch the Ben Simmons documentary from his year.
Oh yeah, at LSU.
I'll put that in air quotes, from his time at LSU. He knew he was going to the NBA. He knew he was going to be the number 1 overall pick.
Yeah.
He knew he didn't have to do anything there but play basketball.
Yeah. Because they'll hit you next year for all the academic stuff and then the eligibility. They don't hit you that year. So most of these guys who are going for 1 year are just basically, hey, you're staying at an apartment off campus and you're here to play basketball, and that's it. Football players a little different because you have to play 3 years, but you know what it is. Yeah. But Oscar, I wanted to ask you, how do you feel about Rob McElhenney and Ryan Reynolds buying the Wales football team?
Honestly,
that's pretty awesome.
I was gonna say they also bought another team. I think they're like in the 4th tier in England as well.
So they're in the 5th tier. That team.
They're in the 5th tier.
Yeah.
So yeah, that makes sense then. Yeah. So that's, I guess, non-league. So that's essentially semi-pros.
They're trying to build it up. They said it's like the oldest club in Europe. So I listened to Smartless. It's with Jason Bateman, Will Arnett, and Sean Hayes, and they had him on and they were talking about it. Like, oh, you bought football team, what got you into it? And apparently one of the writers from Always Sunny got him into it. So he made the one writer the head of football operations for that for that team. So that's like dope. Imagine they made so much money. So apparently they shot the Always Sunny pilot with $200. Like they bought a camera at Best Buy and they just kept filming whenever they could. And now they're on their 15th season, syndication, buku dollars, him and Ryan Reynolds buy a team. So, I mean, I thought that was pretty dope. But I also didn't know, but I think we talked about this, but I might just be stupid and don't listen, that if the last team, so there's the whole dropping down and getting promoted. So you get demoted and promoted.
Relegation.
Dude, so dope.
We talked about that multiple times, Rich.
And I was just so drunk that I did not pay attention. Not going to lie. I am so mad
that's the thing. Like
that makes it fun, though. Oh, we talked about it because we talked about what if Alabama got moved up.
We also talked about how Oscar said that's why the fans in Europe were protesting because they wanted to get rid of that, right, Oscar?
Yeah, exactly. Yeah, because
the teams were like, we don't want to do that, and then the fans were like, no, screw you guys. I hold you accountable. You're not doing that. So they backed off.
No, and luckily they did. Yeah, it was just like it makes a competition based on like you actually deserving to be there. So like you don't there's no games that suck. I mean, sure, you're gonna get like Borefest 0-0s because both teams have no quality, but like it's just like if you don't actually deserve to be the top tier, you're gonna learn. You're gonna go down, and you're gonna lose a lot of money. So you're losing TV money. You're losing a lot of things by not being good.
Definitely. Yeah, I mean, listen. It would take some partnerships with some existing leagues right now. Like it would take the for the NFL to possibly partner with the CFL, but the owners of the NFL would never buy into it because they know that unless they were guaranteed a specific amount of revenue every year, it would never happen. Because they would never be like, oh yeah, we'll get relegated to the CFL and make nothing.
Yeah.
And let the Edmonton Eskimos get relegated, get promoted to the NFL. And then you essentially have to fight your way back and win the CFL to then get back into the NFL. So you could be stuck in the CFL for 5 years if you don't win that league.
Yeah, that's why they don't have that's why you can't do like the whole tanking premise that they have in our pro sports over here, because over there, if you tank, then you lose a lot. You're the worst team in your division, you get promoted down, right? Then you're not in, what is it, tier 1 Oscar? Whatever.
There's 5 tiers, right?
No, it's in the Premier League, it's 3 teams that go down and 3 that go up from the other league.
And I'm sure every year there's one or two there's probably at least 1 or 2 that change every year, right?
Oh yeah, definitely. And sometimes, for instance, one of the crazier stories is Leicester City. They were in tier 3 once, go up to, the championship, get promoted to the Premier League, get relegated. I mean, was on the brink of getting relegated, survived by 2-3 points. The next season, they do well. The season after that, they won the Premier League. So
that's
it's just
so awesome.
Right.
I would love to see something like that, in American sports. I would love for the fact to be okay, you have your 5 whatever tiers, and then say the Mets or the Yankees or the Phillies, they suck so bad, they get dropped down. So it's the Mets versus the Toledo Warhawks, something like that. It's oh, this is cool. Or the Phillies versus the California Sand Barons, and it's oh, we suck as much as these guys. But then you see other teams prevailing and other teams moving up. That would be an interesting premise and would honestly keep me more invested in sports. And I think it would eliminate obviously bigger market teams are going to have more money, but I think it would help eliminate the stupid shit with the NBA, with the super teams. If things were to happen that way, it's okay, you get traded to this up and coming team. And it's okay, this is what you're building your team with. I think that would just be an interesting premise. But see, this is the off kilter shit that I like talking about. And this is why we did this podcast. We were getting a little too uniformed lately. Too many facts. I went back, listened to the one podcast. Nick had 8 minutes of straight facts. And I'm like, Jesus Christ, we're this close to being analysts, but not getting paid for it. Let's take it back to our roots. So I decided, fuck it. Let's end everything early and talk about what we want to talk about.
Nice.
Anybody else have anything good? I enjoyed that. I just felt bad. My computer was literally 1%, and I had to run and grab my charger and an extension cord.
Oh, that's great,
dude. It said I had 44% left, and then all of a sudden I looked down and flashed 1%, 1 minute. I'm like, fuck.
I was hoping something wasn't going on. I was like, hey, where is Rich running to?
No, I had to get the charger and an extension cord. So great. Anybody else have anything? Nick, you got any good sports topics?
No, Rich threw 2 really nice games this Sunday. Allowed,
nice.
I think maybe 1 earned, maybe.
One earned.
One hit the solo home run off you. The rest were because
that was 15 feet foul. It's all right.
Well, the other kid hit one that was
he hit a bomb. Yeah, that dude.
That was the only one.
No, he hit the first one he hit the home run that was in left field that was foul.
Yeah, the second game was legit home run, but that was it. So
and then Ant decides he's going to talk shit to John Wynn sitting at the bar at Los Bronx on Sunday, saying how bad John sucks and how much better he is than him. I got John texting me. He's like, Ant saying he's the man and hit a home run today. I'm like, no, he did. And saying this and that. I'm like, nah, he's doing that. And I text Ant. I put a read what he said.
It was for a finger Hopefully it's not broken, right?
Oh my God! He tried to catch a ball barehanded
in
the outfield.
He just
in the outfield,
and it wasn't even his play. Center fielder's running over to get the ball, saying mine, and then Ant just doesn't even listen to him, just runs in front of him and tries to barehand the ball. I'm like, what are you doing, dude? He's like, yeah, my bad. Make you think?
It was pretty funny. What did I say? I can't even find it. I'm just telling him how much he sucks. That's basically the text message that he sent to me, and I loved it. But yeah, man, Sunday morning softball, we're 9th out of 62 teams. We're doing all right.
62 teams. Holy crap.
Yeah, dude, there's 62
Where
teams.
Where do you find enough people to fill 62 teams?
Oh, bro, there's a lot of people in this league. And we have 17 guys on our roster. Usually like 12, 13 show up. But yeah, and some teams have like 20 guys on their roster. Like it's nuts.
Yeah.
So we're hanging. We're competing. We're doing our thing. But I think it's time, guys. I think it's time for our final thoughts. Oscar, I want you to go first.
All right. So no, but honestly, just bring back this comment about Cristiano Ronaldo rejecting Coca-Cola in the press conference interview. He it's so funny that people are kind of like taking that as a meme or as an outrage kind of thing. But Coca-Cola's shares and stocks went down $2.3 billion by him just doing that. And he has like this thing with his son. His son likes to eat junk food, but his son is also a phenomenal football player like him.
Obviously.
One of the interviews we're talking about, his son had scored like 11 goals in one game the night before. And they asked him, he was just like, I'm not pushing him to do anything, and I'm not like, making him play football, but he wants to play, blah, blah, blah. And then he says, there's only one thing that I wish he stopped doing, and it was drinking soda. So I think
that's dope.
That's definitely where that came from. And I think people are actually missing that point.
I like it. Nick, what do you got, bud?
I mean, we talked about everything, man, pretty much. I mean, I'm going to, like we said earlier, I'm just to keep you guys updated. I'm working on some videos I'm going to put up on Instagram. We'll plug that next episode. So Rich will plug that. Don will plug that on their Twitter. Plug it on their Facebook. It's just going to be kind of snippets, so sneak peeks of videos. And then we'll do some where we're like, maybe I'll put up some pictures where we'll like ask some questions you guys want to hear us talk about something other than sports. We all have a lot of really stupid knowledge in our heads when it comes to music, food, beer. Don's a science teacher, so he's probably got a little bit.
I got some stuff cooking.
A lot of little stuff churning in that brain.
We can have a whole dinosaur episode.
That's it, dude.
We'll fuck around and just, I don't care. We'll just fuck around. Dude, but this is the thing. Like, as Nick said, ask us, give us topics, whatever you want to talk about. Like, I love talking Philly sports with you guys. I do. But I don't want to be redundant. I don't want to bring up facts. It's not what we do. We are bar talk conversations. Trying to be so structured is not us. It's not what I want us to be. So if we get derailed because somebody in the chat goes, what do you think about dinosaurs? I will stop and answer that question.
Yeah.
I would love to answer that question. What do I think about the sea and UFOs? We can talk.
Oh my God. We could just do a whole UFO episode. Dog.
And that would probably be about 3 hours long. And I would not be opposed. But go ahead.
There's a lot. That's what I'm saying. Like, we just have to, we're all used to having like just regular conversations like we have before and after the show. That, like, I'm sure would probably be more entertaining sometimes than us talking sports. You guys like sports, that's great. We do too, but we all got stories too, plenty of good stories.
We do have good stories
about a lot of dumb shit, a lot of funny shit that happened to us and we've seen happen, which is always good too. So just ask us other stuff. What music, food. Rich is a pretty good cook. Oscar's a pretty good cook. I think I'm decent. Yeah. I don't know about Don.
Nick always cooking some shit up. Oscar, he's got it in his blood.
I just do whatever,
Oscar's family owns a restaurant. It's really one of the best in the country. So he can't say that he doesn't know how to cook it up.
We can't plug them because they're not our sponsor. So
we can't plug. It's we're in a discussion right now.
We're in the works. We're also trying to get in the works with the Norristown School District, but they don't like our language, so they're pretty much going to drop us. I was trying to teach. I would just get me in a classroom, teaching podcasting and how to be an asshole.
Sometimes people need to be cursed at, Rich.
Oh,
sometimes no, they really do. I agree with you 100% there. Don, what are your final thoughts, Don?
All right, so I'm gonna go. So having to listen to the national broadcast has been horrible. I'm sorry, but
don't be sorry. Don't you fucking be sorry, Don.
No. It gave me a greater appreciation for the verbal gold that comes out of Mark Zumwalt's mouth, that comes from Ala Abdel-Nabi.
This is going to be a clip.
That I put together a little bit of montage of the two of them and a little bit of Tom McCarthy mixed in, because I'm just so tired of like the mouthpiece, all this. Trey Young is they were actively cheering for the Hawks. When Mark Zumwalt, when he's talking about turning garbage into gold and being on the seesaw and locking all windows and doors and like that kind of stuff, I love. Maybe it's the homer in me. Maybe it's just because it's my team. Maybe because it's verbal gold. But give it a listen. Oh.
First Weber, then Iverson. Allen's got 43. Three personal fouls. Butler and Meade turning garbage into gold, and he was fouled. Simmons rolling in.
I love
I
it.
missed that.
Without Joel Embiid, they're still more talented. The Cavaliers were able to put
Like Ala telling stories.
shots from RJ Barrett. Drives and set up the shots later. Gives a drive and a fine finish by the rookie five.
And this is what we're missing when we have to listen to fucking TNT. I can't hear anything else, Don. It's coming in choppy. Tom.
So like the fact that you can like the fact that the local broadcast can't do anything past the first round is a crime. So I'm calling. I want the two of them to start doing. You know how they can do the Twitter live broadcast of the game. I would love
that. Would be fantastic
if the Sixers could put that out on their own content, on their own social media. So I'm calling the Sixers. I'm calling out Daryl Morey. I'm calling out Ala. I'm calling out Mark Zumwalt, and I'm saying put out some of our own content that gives the people what they want. And they want garbage into gold. They want being on the seesaw. They want locking all windows and doors on the way out of the game. I want more Ala. I want more Zoom. Give me what I want.
Use those connections at Wells Fargo Center, man, that you got.
Oscar.
What? I got distracted.
I just look high right now. If I hear this.
You do. Yeah, the national media sucks, man.
They are terrible.
No one likes us, so we don't care.
I did not know that the national broadcast, it does nothing after the first round. That makes me really upset. I am on a different planet.
You know that these national media people don't watch the games if you honestly think that Rudy Gobert is a defensive player of the year and not Ben Simmons. You can't tell me that Gobert is a better defender than Ben Simmons. If you think so, you can suck my ass because it's not true.
All right, I'm just giving
a term that Rich will use a lot. Your sister's ass. That's not the truth.
Your sister's ass.
The truth is, Ben Simmons can guard a player 1 through 5 and shut him down. Even Embiid's a better player than Gobert. If Gobert's defensive player of the year, how come when you play Embiid, he bodies you and destroys you one-on-one? Because you're not the best player. You get blocks. They're all stat. I'll pull a line from one of the local radio guys, and he says they're stat whores. They only see stats. They don't watch the games.
I agree.
The best corner in the league. He doesn't get 8 interceptions. They don't even throw to him. So maybe he gets 1 a year. Why? Because they're scared of him. So that's why if Scott Brooks comes out after the Wizards series and says that's the best defensive player in the league, Why is a guy like they have a media guy who looks like us, never played in the NBA, voting for Defensive Player of the Year? Why?
Looks exactly like how I look right now with the backwards.
It's like the guys that vote for the Baseball Hall of Fame. They're guys that are
98 years old.
older than my grandpa. They can't hear. They're diabetic. They're alcoholics. They drink whiskey in their coffee every morning. But they're voting for Hall of Famers.
They wash their hand with like that corn husk stuff. That's like in the glass bottle.
How is this guy a Hall of Famer, but this guy's not? Or you know what I mean? It's like, what do your eyes show you? Because I don't get it sometimes.
I agree.
That's all I want to say. I was really annoyed with the fucking Rudy Gobert shit because
I think everybody was. It makes no sense.
Even Matisse is a better defensive player than Gobert. We have 3 players on our team better defensive players than Gobert.
Right.
You know, and I just saw that since Embiid won, he got on the second team all defense. He's now eligible for the Supermax. So
I just saw that pop up.
Oh, really? That's what it makes you eligible for it?
Well, it's built into your into the NBA Players Association. Yeah. So
okay.
As long as you make all NBA, you're eligible for Supermax.
Oh, good for Joe. All right, so let me give my final thoughts.
Here we go.
My final thoughts are fuck Samsung because I have a Samsung dryer and washer. It was a terrible idea at the time because no one fixes them. So I come back from the shore, trying to do some wash, put a load of laundry in, throw it in the dryer. What happens? Dryer wants to make this loud screeching sound. Then it starts smelling like it's burning. So obviously the belt's bad.
Yeah, the drum probably came off too. The drum was it wobbling?
No, it wasn't wobbling. It was just literally screeching and smelled burnt. So I call Samsung and they go, oh, yeah, sorry, fill out this thing online. Fill it online. They don't accept payment. So I'm like, okay, great. Call Samsung again. After I called 16 places in the area and they say, no, you have to call Samsung. They'll tell you who the provider is. Huntington Valley, PA will come out to service. Yeah, by you. I'm like, oh, this is great. $138 just to come over the bridge to check it out. $98 for labor. That's before even telling me what the fuck's wrong with it. So do I get a new dryer or not? And here's the kicker. They're not coming out till next Tuesday. So shout out to Pat Johnson for letting me use his washer and dryer this week. I appreciate you, bud.
Rich, you know what I did?
Don't buy Samsung.
No, when we bought our house, I got a home warranty through Choice, called Choice Home Warranty, right? I pay like $40 a month.
Yeah.
Right? So what happened with our washer and dryer is since we pay $40 a month, they were existing here. They went bad. They called a company. They came out and fixed it both free, brother.
I'm going to have to do that because it makes zero sense.
It's all your appliances, dude. So like any of your appliances, shit the bed. As long as you have them before you get the warranty, you're good.
All right. So what I can do is just go on Choice and just get a warranty from them.
Get a home warranty, man. It's like $40. Yo, Choice Home Warranty, sponsor the show.
Yeah, dude. All right. You're about to get my business.
I've been contributing to you guys for years, man.
Yeah, I'm not going to lie. I'm about to sign up for that because I'll pay the $40.
The washer and the dryer. They came out what happens is if they can't fix it, they'll replace it with the same or similar or newer model for free, bro. So like if they came out with a Samsung dryer and they can't fix it, they replace it.
Yeah, dude, I'm getting
all you do is you pay the $40. There might be a service fee that's like $30 or something like that, $40, whatever. But $40 for a 400-500 new dryer,
right?
A day a week.
So Oscar Lindbaum wins the Masterton Trophy. Did he win that, or is he going to win that?
I think
That's awesome.
I think he did.
Good for Oscar. I like that. I like that. Chris, thank you for your input.
He's got a really strong first name.
Yeah, but he spells it right. But OSK, it's because it's spelled correctly, unlike OSC. But who am I?
He's got a year.
Tell my mom you said that.
No, your mom's a great lady. Stop.
But she's the one that named me, bitch.
Mother, fuck off. Anyway, we're drunk on broad. I'm Rich. Fuck Oscar. Don's down there being a G. Nick's over there. Jason Kelsey lookalike. We have koozies. We're trying to get them out there. We're trying to get some koozies.
We're working on the content. We're working on the merch.
You guys got to understand. Everybody here has a job except me. So, you know what I'm saying? It's a little hard to try to do things and try to get merchandise made and figure all that shit out. So be patient with us. Things are coming. A lot of things in the works. All good stuff. I want to start trying to incorporate fantasy football in when the fall comes, because we're going to need more things to talk about. As much as I love talking Philly sports, like Nick said, we need more topics, more outlandish shit.
Yeah,
more fun.
Rich is trying to rob me 5 places in our draft.
I'm not trying to rob you. James Robinson finished top 10 at his position. So we said he goes to a 10. You want him for a 15. That's not how the keepers work. And then he wants to go, Travis Etienne. Who's this guy?
I don't blame you for the hustle, Oscar.
Yeah.
But then he tries it. Then he thinks I'm bullshitting with Travis Etienne. I'm like, no, he's really good. They drafted him. Nah, Bog, you're just trying to rob me. You sound like Lieutenant Dan.
Nobody likes fantasy football more than Rich Conroy.
No, I literally did 3 mock drafts.
Even the people that have hundreds of thousands of followers on Instagram that get paid for fantasy football, Rich likes it more than they do.
I love it. It's literally I'm listening to podcasts. I've done 38 mock drafts already.
He's gonna go inside after this show. Before he takes a shower, he's gonna sit on the toilet. He's gonna do 2 mock drafts. Then he's gonna take a shower.
Nick, I'm not leaving out here.
He's gonna get out. He's gonna do 2 more and be like, "Yo, I just did 2 more mock drafts. Look at
Draft Dominator from the football guys. You can't say it because the backlight's too big. Draft Dominator from the football guys. I can just do mock drafts. And what I do is I took who I think Oscar's keeping, who I think Nick's keeping in our keeper league, and I added them to the round. So now I'm like playing around with my keepers and their keepers, and I just keep moving the draft order around, and I'm just having a good time.
You know what happens, Don? This is what happens when you don't have a job.
Yeah.
Oh my God.
Yeah.
Like he did it a lot when he had a job. So now he doesn't have one.
All right. So let me confess something to you all before we leave this show. I was way less productive when I had a job now that I do not. Watching Ollie is a full-time job. Dude, I would go into work 2 hours before my boss. I would do all my homework for 3 weeks in that 2 hours and would just literally do fantasy football drafts. And then all my work for 4 hours up to like lunchtime. So literally I had nothing to do all day. I just got paid to do nothing. It was amazing because I love managing my time. Time management, guys, it'll save you. I'm Rich. That's Don. That's Nick. Fuck Oscar. Clap your hands, everybody, for Philadelphia 76ers. All right, we're out.
Seems Rich, I got my nightmares before.
Yeah, seriously. What the hell?
I am nightmare fuel. Bye, guys.